Hey guys, Dr. Nate here today, and I want to talk to you about the different orthodontic instruments that we use. I'm going to go through most of them, the ones that we use pretty much every single patient or for every single patient, and then ones that we use for banding. What are these instruments? What are they used for? So let's go. Let's start off with numero uno. This one here is a bracket holding plier. So look, you squeeze it, you put the bracket right here, the bracket's there, and you place it on the patient. So this is pretty straightforward. This is a bracket placing plier. Right here, this is called a mathau. This is probably the most used instrument that we use. You click it here, and this is great for grabbing colors like so. You can grab this color right here, and then you can put it on the actual patient, put it on the actual braces. This is what we use pretty much all the time, every day, pretty much every single patient. It's also good if you want to take off rubber bands. I know you don't have this at home, but man, this helps a lot. So this right here is called a mathau. This right here, this one right here is called a distal end cutter. And we use this to take off the back parts of the wire. So whenever you have that long wire and you want to cut it, you just take this guy, get it right in there, boom, cut off the end of it. So this thing is called a distal end cutter. This one right here, this is called a straight cutter. So you do not use this. If you are an orthodontic assistant, you do not use this to cut the wire because it is way too thin. You're gonna break this instrument. I've done this before a long time ago, but if you use this to cut the wires, like if I use it for this one, you could probably do it a couple times, but then eventually it's gonna break. You know, it's gonna cut, it's gonna break right here, right at its weakest point. So this is mainly used to cut power chains if they're too long. Sometimes if you have steel ligature ties, those are those ties that you use instead of the colors. You'll use a steel tie on that tooth. You'll use that to cut that. So things that are really thin. I believe in the books it says it has to be smaller than 0.014 inches, which is very small. That's pretty much one of our smallest wires, or our ligature ties. All right, next up, we got let's do this. This right here is an Explorer. This is what we use every single day too, to take off the colors. You can see we use it here. We can take off the colors right here. It's hard to see, but that is a clear color. And that is what we use on every single patient as well. So this one right here, it's called an Explorer. It's a specific type of orthodontic Explorer. It has a little curved end, which really helps us get the colors off, sometimes the power chains as well, but mainly for just the single colors. Some orthodontists will have this in their basic sets. This one right here is called a bird beak plier. We use this not nearly as often as these ones right here, but this one we use to bend the wire. So in this particular case, you have a stainless steel wire right here, you bend it, boom, you have that little bend in the wire. So this one right here is called the bird beak plier. So let's kind of review these, and I'm going to go through the banding pliers after this. So you have the bracket placing plier, that's this guy right here. You have a mathau, which we use to take on and off the colors or power chains. You have the distal end cutter. This helps cut the ends of the wires. You have the straight cutter right here that cuts those small wires or those steel ligature ties or the power chains. You have the Explorer right here that gets off the colors. And then you have a bird beak, but you probably won't have this in every single set, but you have the bird beak plier right here. So I'm gonna swipe this all up, and then we're gonna go to the banding instruments. Now we've got the banding instruments. This is a band pusher. So we use this to push the bands onto the teeth without the patient's help. That is without the patient help. That is this one right here. This one is a band pusher, but this one is the one we use as a bite stick. So you'll actually have the patient bite on the back portion of this as you push the band down. So people like to use this if they want the patient to push down on the band. Maybe the band is tougher to get in. I personally pretty much only use this one right here because I like to have full control. This one is the patient who's pushing down. That's why I don't use that as much, but I know the girls love to use this one. Let's go actually to this one right here. This is a band remover, this guy right here. So you have a plastic portion that goes on the tops of the tooth. So you may not be able to see this that much, but this will go on the top of the tooth right here, and you squeeze it, and that will remove the bands. Remember, the bands are those metallic little bands that go around the teeth. Here you have a separating plier. So you put the spacer right here, you squeeze so it's actually stretched out, and you wiggle this thing in through the contacts of the teeth. Remember, you put spacers in roughly a week or so before you're going to put the actual band. So this is a separating plier. Just as a little bonus here, this is a debonding instrument. This is going to take off the braces. So it has this little kind of sharp portion here at the end, and that is what actually helps us take off the braces. Taking off the braces is really quick. It probably takes me roughly 20 seconds-ish or so to take off the braces with this specific type of plier. There you have it. Now you know all the different types of instruments we use here in orthodontics. You know the basic set that we use for every single patient, and now you know the banding instruments. Once again, it's Dr. Nate here at Thrive Dental. If you like this video, please subscribe, please put the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video.